Hi, everyone, and welcome to this recorded presentation about the Urbana Park District CARES Plan. CARES, as you can see, stands for Climate Action, Resilience, Education, and Sustainability. And we're very excited to bring this information to you. It's a draft plan. And once we're done with this recorded presentation, we're going to have some live questions and discussion, and we hope that it's really fruitful for informing the plan as we move forward. So I'm Kara Dudek, Park Planner with the Urbana Park District. And I'm also a Climate for Health Ambassador, and that's a program of Eco America, which helps create connections between human health and climate change, and also provides me with information so that I can be in the community as a trusted leader on this information, and really just helping what is a medical health emergency at a local level and at a worldwide level.
And hi, everyone. I'm Savannah Donovan. I am the Environmental Public Program Coordinator at the Urbana Park District. Together, Kara and I co-chair the Park District's Green Team Committee, and we are also heading up the steering committee for this CARES plan. As you see, I'm also a climate reality leader, so that is through Al Gore's Climate Reality Leadership Corps. There's lots of information online about that, but basically it's just about raising awareness about climate change as a reality. And then in addition to Kara and I, we have about 10 other people on our steering committee who represent individuals from different departments and facilities across the Park District. And in that way, we were able to get as much difference in opinion and perspective as we develop this plan. So first, we just want to mention why is the Urbana Park District taking on this kind of climate action and resilience plan? Well, it's within our mission to improve the quality of life of Urbana citizens, contribute to the attractiveness of neighborhoods, conservation of the environment, and the overall health of the community. We believe that all citizens have the right to a healthy and viable environment. And we really care about building a sustainable future for children in our community and across the world. So working for and with our community, we feel that we can create a more positive future for everyone through things such as choosing cleaner energy, using resources efficiently, and preparing for climate risks. So a little bit more on the why. Why are we doing this? Well, carbon pollution is warming our planet and it's affecting our climate. And we see impacts throughout the Midwest. They manifest both as more droughts and also more floods. And then across the country, we see examples of extreme weather, wildfires, and more. Climate change also affects human health as well as environmental health. There are a greater instance of heat-related deaths, poor air quality, waterborne diseases, food production, mental health is all tied up in climate change and environmental health, and it disproportionately affects vulnerable populations. Human activity contributes to these threats, but we humans can solve this problem by working together.
So that was a very, very brief overview of some of the background and the why. And we know that this topic can very often become politicized and become a source of anxiety for some people, and that is definitely not what we are here for. What we're going to launch into now is to show you about our 3 overarching pillars for this plan. So, you know, it's a big topic. It carries a lot of emotion. There's a lot that we can do, and there's a lot that's scary about it. But we're here to give you concrete examples of what we can do right here in Urbana and in Champaign County to make an impact and provide a better quality of life and health for everyone. And so our first of the 3 pillars is called Communicating Climate Action, and it underscores the Urbana Park District's commitment to serve as a community leader and role model for climate action through internal practices, public outreach and programs, and collaborative partnerships. So coming from all angles of education and collaboration, and really just making an impact in what we do in the community. The second planning pillar is protecting and strengthening our natural environment, which reinforces the Urbana Park District's responsibility to care for the health of humans, plants, animals, ecosystems, and the climate by reducing our carbon footprint, stewarding natural areas, and improving air and water quality. And then the third of these overarching themes or pillars is called conserving resources, which highlights the Urbana Park District's dedication to the sustainability of natural resources through conserving energy and water, using clean energy, reducing waste, and increasing recycling and reuse. So with that, what we're going to jump into is the goals and objectives, and Savannah's going to go ahead and take the first pillar.
So again, the first pillar is communicating climate action. And when we take a look at these goals and objectives, this is really kind of a basis for feedback. This is kind of a main point for which we're seeking public input. So please keep that in mind as we take a closer look at these goals and objectives. Maybe think about if you think they're feasible or maybe if something's missing or something's too much, those are the kinds of things that you might consider as we go through this. The first goal in this pillar is to communicate the importance of climate action through internal practices. And within that goal, we have two objectives. The first is to develop a district-wide green purchasing program for office supplies, cleaning products, and other routine purchasing. And then next, to expand our staff's understanding of climate change. So we would be providing tools for action and cultivating an environmentally responsible staff culture. The second goal, you can see, has quite a few more objectives. Goal 2 is to provide outreach and programming opportunities to best communicate climate action to diverse audiences. And so you see in each of these objectives, we are sort of calling out a different target audience. The first objective is relating to kids at our district summer camps. The second is relating to climate change education for school children. Objective C is about integrating the district's You Belong Here initiatives to connect with historically underserved audiences. D is increasing youth and teen understanding of climate change concepts and their involvement in local climate action. E is to engage adults and age-friendly audiences. And F is engaging with the community during free public events. Goal 3 in this pillar is to provide leadership and public information to advocate for environmental sustainability and climate action. The objective is to report and promote the accomplishments of this plan in order to increase public awareness about climate action. Goal 4 is to communicate environmental topics and opportunities for climate action through art, sculpture, and interpretation. So this was kind of an exciting goal that emerged from our staff that we didn't necessarily anticipate at the beginning of this drafting process. The objectives are to promote youth artistic creativity in addressing climate change, to use art and sculpture as a means to communicate environmental concerns and climate action, and C, to utilize interpretive exhibits as a way to convey information about climate change. Now, for this goal, I want to take you a little bit more in depth because generally in this presentation, Kara and I are going to be covering the overarching goals and objectives. But if you visit our Park District website, we'll share that web address with you. You will see a more detailed draft of the plan. And when you look at that draft, you're going to notice that not only do we have goals and objectives, but we also list the strategies for achieving those objectives. And then the performance measure. So how do we know when the objective has been met? How do we know when the strategy has been carried out? And lastly, the responsible staff groups. Again, this is all in draft form still. So we do still have a lot of room for changing things based on your feedback, but this is kind of our starting point here. So let me walk you through this. We already read the objective is to use art and sculpture to communicate climate action. One strategy would be to work with local artists to display temporary art exhibits that raise awareness of environmental issues, such as plastic waste. We would know we've completed that strategy when at least one new piece of art is displayed in an Urbana park each year. And additionally, we can create a short video about each piece. And then again, you'll see who would be the responsible staff groups on the right-hand column. Another strategy to achieve this objective would be to integrate themes of natural areas and climate change into our 25th anniversary celebration of the Wandel Sculpture Garden at Meadowbrook Park. The performance measure would be in the fiscal year of 2022 to 2023 to organize a community-wide special event. Goal 5 under this pillar is to collaborate with partners to reach new audiences and expand climate change impacts in the community. So this one is really about connecting with other community groups that are already out there that have similar missions. So our objectives are to work with the Champaign County Climate Coalition, or C4, to expand climate action community-wide. B, to attract involvement from U of I students, faculty, and staff. And C, to work with other local environmental groups as a resource to help facilitate our programs and events.
So I'm going to go ahead and move into the next pillar, which is protecting and strengthening our natural environment. And like Savannah said, we're trying to convey a lot of information to you, and sometimes it may look like this is final and like we're done and we're just presenting to you, but in reality, this is still a draft plan and anything is open to be made more clear or to be changed up. So we hope you're taking down notes and getting some questions ready too. Goal 1 under this pillar is reduce the district's carbon footprint, and objectives include reduce and offset overall carbon emissions, reduce vehicle trips and total miles traveled, and work towards achieving UPD carbon neutrality by 2030. Goal 2, improve outdoor air quality by reducing UPD contributions to fine particulate matter and reduce black carbon, nitrogen oxide, toxins, and greenhouse gas contributions of the district. Goal 3 is steward biodiversity through responsible care and expansion of natural areas. Quite a few objectives here. Increase the amount of quality naturalized areas at the park district. Increase the overall number of trees in our inventory. Maintain parks and natural areas in environmentally sustainable ways. Develop sustainable, in-house, local ecotype, and rare plant propagation. And enhance community-wide biodiversity. And so with that, I'll take a deeper dive into one of these goals. Goal 3, which is steward biodiversity through responsible care and expansion of natural areas. You'll see the objective underneath this, increase the amount of quality naturalized areas. And the way that we propose going about that is continue to create a network of corridors, naturalized areas, pollinator pockets, no-mow zones, and also improving the quality through things like invasive species removal and increased biodiversity. And the performance measure, or how we know when this has been achieved, is suggested to be to increase this network by 5,000 square feet over the next 5 years, since the intention is for this plan to be a 5-year plan. And also inventory all of our existing sites and install naturalized areas in places where there currently is no native landscaping of any sort. And then you can see some of the staff responsible for that include natural areas and grounds maintenance. Moving on to goal 4, enhance aquatic and public health through water quality improvements. The first one is to increase the success and environmental impact of green infrastructure practices. And those are things like rain gardens and bioswales, permeable pavements, engineered wetlands, and even things like stormwater cisterns, rain barrels, and so on. Objective B, improve water quality of runoff during the winter months when there's a particularly high amount of pollution due to salt. And the last one is to identify the locations of point source impacts on UPD parks, natural areas, and waterways so that we can better mitigate some of those hazards.
Thanks, Kara. Our final pillar is conserving resources. The first goal is to reduce consumption of energy and water. Our objectives are to reduce electricity consumption, cut back on the amount of potable water or drinkable water that's used for watering landscapes or fields, and then to target water conservation at both the Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center and the Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center. Goal 2, utilize cleaner energy and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. So, this might be kind of more typical of what people think of when they think of climate action plans. The objectives are to use more renewable energy, to prepare district facilities for electric vehicle charging, to initiate the transition toward electric powered vehicles and equipment. So, not just vehicles, but things like string trimmers, blowers, that sort of thing. And then D, to employ energy conserving building practices in all of our new construction or substantial upgrades to facilities. A more detailed look regarding the objective on transitioning toward electric powered vehicles and equipment. Strategies that we will use to achieve this objective are to research electric and hybrid vehicle options. We'll know we've done that when we have on each vehicle a replacement bid to request an alternative of an electric or hybrid option. And then also, as part of our vehicle replacement schedule, we'll replace at least 2 vehicles with electric or hybrid models. The second strategy is to research and test electric equipment for future purchase. So again, this is things that you might not initially think of, like chainsaws and mowers. Our performance measure is to transition at least 10 pieces of gas-powered grounds and natural areas equipment to electric-powered. Goal 3, to reduce waste generated through district programs, facilities, and processes. Our objectives are to reduce waste at programs and events of more than 50 people, to compost food waste created by staff and visitors at UPD facilities, to reduce our paper usage district-wide, and to reduce the use of single-use plastics across the district. Goal 4, increase recycling and reuse to divert waste from landfills. So objectives to increase the number of recycling bins district-wide, reduce our reliance on plastic, and to eliminate all styrofoam waste generated by staff. So we will not be throwing any styrofoam in the garbage.
So that's all of the different pillars and objectives in a nutshell. And we wanted to share this website with you. So urbanaparks.org/about-us/green initiatives. And there you will find this recorded presentation, the slides for this presentation, the survey to provide written feedback to us in addition to the discussion today, and then also that more in-depth document where we showed you those charts. It will all be there in one place for you to take a further look at. This is what the survey is going to look like. It'll ask you for prioritization of some of the objectives that we told you about, how they relate to you personally, and then also about how they should be prioritized in the park district plan moving forward. And then with that, we are going to jump into some live questions and discussion, and we hope that we have very fruitful discussion and the plan is made much better because of it.
Thanks, everyone.